They say if you want to see someone's true character, watch how they treat the person they think is beneath them, and in a world that judges fast and shallow. That little test will tell you everything. Marcus Hale learned it the hard way. He was a self-made black entrepreneur who turned a beat-up street cart into Hale Brews, a small Atlanta chain where the point wasn't caffeine so much as community second chances. No side eye at the door. Dignity poured right alongside the coffee. It worked for years, until the whispers started slow service. Attitude at the counter. A chill that didn't belong in any coffee house, and he felt that knot in his gut that only the owner can feel when the soul of a place starts to slip away. So he did what his board slides never could. He dressed down, pulled on a gray hoodie and a cap, left the watch at home, and drove his plain sedan to the flagship on Peachtree. Morning rush humming, suits grabbing lattes, students juggling laptops, the whole city in microcosm, and still, as his hand hit the glass door, a cold prickle ran up his neck. He stepped inside for a simple black coffee, and the truth, by the way. If this hits you at all, tell me where you're watching from. Then he took his place in line and let the room talk. Marcus never had a silver spoon. Southwest Atlanta. Tight budgets. A mom who worked doubles at a diner and still managed to meet people's eyes when she set down their cups. A good coffee can change someone's day, she'd tell him, but a kind word can change their life. She died when he was 16. He bounced between relatives, flipped burgers, delivered papers, and when the world felt heavy, he tinkered with beans and water in his aunt's kitchen, chasing warmth in an old pot. A local fair, a little cart, a line that didn't seem to end. That was the seed of Hale Brews. And he planted every dollar right back into the dirt. Banks said no young, black, no degree, but he found mentors, worked community events, opened his first shop in a rundown strip mall, and hired the people everybody else wrote off, ex-offenders. Single parents, kids out of foster care, show up with heart and we'll build it together. By 38, he had 5 shops, fair wages, training, profit share, and distance. It's what growth does. You trade the hiss of steam for the ping of calendar invites, and if you're not careful, your culture goes on mute. The flagship's numbers dipped. Reviews mentioned rude and cold, and Marcus decided to stop leading from the balcony. He walked in like nobody, stood at the counter, and waited. Jada barely glanced up. What do you want? $4. No small talk. No eye contact. Corey leaned on the espresso machine, half a joke on his lips and half a line still waiting. A guy in a tailored jacket got a smile. Marcus got a lukewarm cup with a loose lid and a mumbled here. He tasted bitterness that wasn't from the beans. He hung by the pickup ledge, staring at his own photo on the wall. The founder grin, nobody connected to the man in the hoodie, and the room told on itself. Chairs scraped. A student sighed. A suit checked his watch. Behind the bar, the whispers got teeth. Places going downhill. Corey muttered. Jada scoffed about those hires from the program. Said the owner didn't care. 3 words that hit like a punch. Lena Gray streaks. Day one loyal warned them to watch their mouths. Reminded them who built the place and why, and still, the poison kept spreading. A teen in a hoodie got the cold tone Marcus just tasted. Another freeloader. Corey muttered. It was enough. He stepped out to his car, the cup cooling in the holder, the shame warming in his chest, not just in them. In himself. Neon flickered Hale Brews. Named for his mother, and he heard her again. You can't plant a garden and forget to water it. He flipped open a notepad. Jada. Corey. Lena then walked the alley to listen more. Cigar smoke. A prop door. Careless words. Lena's too soft. Thinks she's family. And Jamal. His very first hire. Steady as ever. I'm not scared. I'm grateful the spark Marcus needed. He texted the team on the spot. Meeting. 8 a.m. Mandatory. No emojis. No cushion. Next morning, he showed up as himself, pressed shirt, loafers, presents, and waited until the room filled with 12 faces and a lot of shuffled feet. "Good morning," he said, calm as stone. He told them what this place meant more than coffee, more than profit, his mother's name and the promise attached to it. And then he told them what he'd heard: the bias, the mockery, the lazy cuts at people who didn't look the part. He owned his distance. "I'm disappointed in you, and in myself," then drew the line. Check-ins every month. Him on the floor twice a week. Real training on respect and bias. Feedback from real conversations, not just apps, and then accountability. Jada and Corey in the back office. Doors closed. Say it out loud. Venting isn't the same as contempt. Frustration doesn't excuse disrespect, and if you stay, you prove you belong with actions. They opened 30 minutes later with the air different, not warm yet, but awake. Marcus didn't micromanage. He hovered like a mirror, not a hammer, and watched small choices add up. Lena called orders like a conductor. Jamal coached a new barista on tamping firm. Not forced. Jada greeted a family with a real smile, but flattened when a man who looked homeless stepped up. And Marcus quietly reminded her to mean it: he's a customer, not a chore. Corey worked fast and quiet. No eye rolls this time. Just, "I'll check on it, ma'am." When a regular complained about a delay, progress isn't fireworks, it's the steady click of better habits under pressure. By lunch, the line curled to the door. Students, suits, a construction crew sharing a laugh with a barista. The tip jar filled faster. Cracks still showing. A young man in a hoodie ordered a small black. "Coming right up," Jada said, no judgment in her voice, and Marcus scribbled better. A woman in a hijab asked for chai. Lena served her with a genuine "hope you love it" that felt like the brand Marcus meant to build. At 1:30, the rush eased. He wiped counters without a speech. Presence does what memos can't. Clothes came with golden light and the smell of grounds in the air. Marcus gathered the team and set 2 folders on the counter: one for people who wanted and sign here, accountability, show up fully, and one for people who wanted out, no shame, 2 weeks pay, a clean reference. He gave them until 7. Choices reveal character the way pressure reveals cracks. Lena signed first. "This is my home." Jamal next. "I'm in." Then Tasha. Then most of the room. Jada came over with eyes that had finally met a mirror. "I messed up. I want to be different." And Marcus told her, "The only thing that matters, prove it. Customer by customer." Corey was last. "I thought it didn't matter. It always matters." Marcus told him, "One chance. Don't waste it." One part-timer bowed out for school. Everyone else stayed to rebuild. A week later, the shop breathed easier. The neon had been fixed. Small thing, big symbol, and Marcus wore a black apron behind the bar because presence is culture. Lena ran the floor with quiet authority. Jamal trained with the patience of someone who remembers his own second chance. Jada greeted a kid in a hoodie and comped his coffee because sometimes the cheapest drink buys you back your soul. And Corey said thank you with actual eye contact. A regular left a note that said, "Feels like home again." Marcus pinned it next to his mother's photo and whispered, "We're back, Mama." No, the place wasn't perfect. It never will be, but the pulse returned. Word spread the way it always should, person to person. Not through a campaign, a kind gesture here. A free cup there. A barista who remembers your dog's name. That's the niche. Hale Brews was born to serve the human one, not the marketing kind, and tending it means showing up with your hands in the soil. Marcus went undercover to find a leak in the roof and discovered the real fix starts at the counter. Respect doesn't wait for a suit or a title. It belongs to everyone who crosses your threshold. It's easy to judge a hoodie, a hesitation, a small order. It's harder to choose accountability when nobody's filming. Jada and Corey learned. Lena never forgot, and the legacy of Marcus's mother lives not in a blend, but in a choice repeated 100 times a day. Treat people like they matter, because they do. So, who did you look past today? A coworker, a stranger, and what changes if you look again? For real? If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs the reminder. Change doesn't shout. It starts in quiet moments, one kind word at a time.